Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Exploring Marketing Research, Chapter number 13, Part 2, Measurement. After studying this part, you should be able to know how to form and index a composite measure. List the three criteria for good measurement. Perform a basic assessment of skill, reliability, and validity. Scale. Scale means series of items arranged according to value for the purpose of quantification. A continuous spectrum. Levels of scale measurement. Marketing researchers use many scales or number systems. Not all scales capture the same richness in a measure. Not all concepts require a rich measure. Traditionally, the level of scale measurement is seen as important because it determines the mathematical comparisons that are allowable. Levels of scale measurement. The four levels or types of scale measurement are nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio level scales. Each type offers the researcher progressively more power in analyzing and testing the validity of a scale. Nominal scale. Nominal scales represent the most elementary level of measurement. A nominal scale assigns a value to an object for identification or classification purposes. The value can be, but does not have to be, a number because no quantities are being represented. In this sense, a nominal scale is truly a qualitative scale. Nominal scales are extremely useful even though they can be considered elementary. Nominal scale. The example of nominal scale can be such as yes, no, female, male, buy, did not buy, postal code, etc. And numerical operation can be counting, and descriptive statistic used for numerical scales can be frequency or more, etc. Ordinal scale. Ordinal scales have nominal properties, but they also allow things to be arranged based on how much of some concept they possess. In other words, an ordinal scale is a ranking scale. When a professor assigns an A, B, C, D, or F to a student at the end of the semester, he or she is using an ordinal scale. Example for ordinal scale are rankings. Choose from the following such as dissatisfied, satisfied, very satisfied, delighted. Indicate your level of education, HS diploma, some college, bachelor's degree, graduate degree, etc. And the numerical operation can be used counting and ordering for the ordinal scale. And the descriptive statistics for ordinal scale are frequencies, mode, median, range, etc. Interval scale. Interval scales have both nominal and ordinal properties, but they also capture information about differences in quantities of a concept. So not only would a sales manager know that a particular salesperson outperform a colleague, but the manager would know by how much. If a professor assigns grades to term paper using a numbering system ranging from 1 to 20, not only does the scale represent the fact that the students with a 16 point outperform a student with 12 point, but the scale would show by how much, that is 4 points. Example for interval scale are 100-point job performance rating assigned by supervisors, means 0% worst performance, 100% best performance. Temperature type attitude scales mean low temperature, bad attitude, high temperature, good attitude. And numerical operation is common arithmetic operation, while the descriptive statistics for interval scale are mean, median, variance, and standard deviation. Ratio scale. Ratio scales represent the highest form of measurement in that They have all the properties of interval scales with the additional attributes of representing absolute quantities. Interval scales represent only relative meaning, whereas ratio scales represent absolute meaning. In other words, ratio scales provide iconic measurement. Zero therefore has meaning in that it represents an absence of some concept. Ratio scale example can be amount purchased, salesperson sales volume, operations, likelihood of performing some act, that is 0% is equal to no likelihood to, and 100% is equal to certainty. Number of stores visited, time spent viewing a particular web page, number of web pages viewed. These are few examples of ratio scale, and numerical operation for ratio scale is all arithmetic operation, while descriptive statistics for ratio scale are mean, median, variance, standard deviation. Index measures. Multi-item instrument for measuring a construct are called index measures or composite measures. Attributes a single characteristic or fundamental feature that pertains to an object, person, or issue. For example, a social class index is based on three weighted variables: income, occupation, and education. Three criteria for good measurement. The three major criteria for evaluating measurements are reliability, validity, and sensitivity. Reliability. Reliability is an indicator of a measure's internal consistency. Consistency is the key to understanding reliability. A measure is reliable when different attempts at measuring something converge on the same result. If a professor's marketing research tests are reliable, a student should tend toward consistent score on all tests. In other words, a student that makes an 80 on the first test should make scores close to 80 on all subsequent tests. So reliability has two categories: stability and internal consistency. And stability can further be addressed with test retest, while internal consistency can have equivalent forms and splitting halves. Reliability. Internal consistency represents a measure's homogeneity. An attempt to measure trust may require asking several similar but not identical questions. The set of items that make up a measure are referred to as battery or scale items. Internal consistency of a multiple item measure can be measured by correlating scores on subsets of items making up a scale. The split half method of checking reliability is performed by taking half of the items from a scale, for example, odd number items, and checking them against the results from the other half, even number items. The two scales halves should correlate highly. This should also produce similar scores. Reliability. Coefficient alpha is the most common applied estimate of a multiple item scale's reliability. Coefficient represents internal consistency by computing the average of all possible split half reliabilities for a multiple item scale. The coefficient demonstrates whether or not the different items converge. Reliability. The test-retest method of determining reliability involves administering the same scale or measure to the same respondent at two separate times to test for stability. If the measure is stable over time, the test administered under the same conditions each time should obtain similar results. Test-retest reliability represents a measure's repeatability. Validity. Good measures should be both precise and accurate. Reliability represents how precise a measure is in that the different attempts at measuring the same thing converge on same point, while accuracy deals more with how a measure assesses the intended concept. Validity is the accuracy of a measure or the extent to which a score truthfully represents a concept. Validity. Researchers have attempted to assess validity in many ways. They attempt to provide some evidence of a measure's degree of validity by answering a variety of questions. Is there a consensus among my colleagues that my attitude scale measures what it is supposed to measure? Validity. Does my measure correlate with other measures of the same concept? Does the behavior expected from my measure predict actual observed behavior? The three basic approaches to establishing validity are phase or content validity, criterion validity, and construct validity. So look into this exhibit. You can see that the validity has phase or content validity, and then criterion validity and construct validity. And criterion validity has two forms, concurrent and predictive. Validity, phase or content validity refers to the subjective agreement among professionals that a scale logically reflects the concept being measured. Simply, do the test items make sense given a concept's definition? When an inspection of the test items convinces experts that the items match the definition, the scale is said to have face validity. Criterion validity addresses the question, does my measures correlate with the measures of the similar concept or known quantities? Criterion validity may be classified as either concurrent validity or predictive validity, depending on the time sequence in which the new measurement scale and the criterion measures are correlated. Validity. If the new measure is taken at the same time as the criterion measures and is shown to be valid, then it has concurrent validity. While predictive validity is established when a new measure predicts a future event. The two measures differ only on the basis of a time dimension. That is, the criterion measure is separated in time from the predictor measure. Construct validity exists when a measure reliably measures and truthfully represents a unique concept. Construct validity consists of several components including phase or content validity, conversion validity, criterion validity, and discriminant validity. Validity. Convergent validity is another way of expressing internal consistency. Highly reliable scales contain convergent validity. Discriminant validity represents how unique or distinct is a measure. A scale should not correlate too highly when a measure of a different construct. Validity. For example, a customer satisfaction measure should not correlate too highly with a cognitive dissonance scale if the two concepts are truly different. Is rough rule of thumb, when two scales are correlated above 0.75, discriminant validity may be questioned. Multivariate procedures like factor analysis can be useful in establishing construct validity. Reliability and validity on target. Suppose an expert sharpshooter fires an equal number of rounds with a century-old rifle and a modern rifle. The shooter from the older gun are considerably scattered, but those from the newer gun are closely clustered. The The variability of the old rifle compared with that of the new one indicates it is less reliable. The target on the right illustrates the concept of a systematic bias influencing validity. The new rifle is reliable because it has little variances, but the sharpshooter's vision is hampered by glare, although shots are consistent and the sharpshooter is unable, the sharpshooter vision is hampered by glare. Although the shots are consistent, the sharpshooter is unable to hit the bull's eye. Sensitivity. The sensitivity of a scale is an important measurement concept, particularly when changes in the attitude or other hypothetical constructs are under investigation. Sensitivity refers to an instrument's ability to accurately measure variability in a concept. Sensitivity, a dichotomous response category such as agree or disagree, does not allow the recording of subtle attitude changes. A more sensitive measure with numerous categories on the scale may be needed. For example, adding strongly agree, mildly agree, neither agree nor disagree, mildly agree, and strongly disagree will increase the scale sensitivity. The sensitivity of scale based on a single question or single item can also be increased by adding question or items. In other words, because composite measures allow for a greater range of possible scores, they are more sensitive than single item scales. The sensitivity is generally increased by adding more response points or adding scale items. Thank you. That's all for part 2.